But once I add this compressor, everything changes. What is up, everybody? It is your boy Farai. Thank you once again for tuning into another video. Today I'm going to be showing you my vocal punch technique. This is a two-step process, and I'll show you a third bonus that I utilize really to get my vocals to pop out in the mix. A lot of the times what people do is they use one compressor and they just find that they aren't getting the results that they want. I'm going to show you the pro technique to do it. Let's hop straight into it. So the first thing we'll do is we'll take a quick listen to this track, and then we will talk about what we're doing. Let's go. Rockstar shit, ripped jeans, Gucci bandana like 17, all black whip, pull up on the scene, my money green like green beans. All we talk is fashion, money and lean, counting bands, I fell in love with codeine. Yeah, I like a star, yeah, she know she cook it clean. That boy ran up, but that AR got a beam. Get how you feel. I just bought a pint, then I cracked the syrup. Yeah, jumped up on the porch, then I made a meal. Yeah, I don't wanna talk if you ain't talking about a deal. How you feel? How you feel? Baby, I feel fine. Alrighty, so there you go. So, hopefully you listen to how we still have the attitude of every line and every cadence, but yet we are still nice and tame. We are still nice and kind of punchy, you know what I mean? And we're getting the result that we want. So we're going to hop straight into it. And I'm going to show you how, when I'm mixing, right? I'm always mixing in little bits, okay? I'm not trying to use, that's why we can see all these plugins here, right? We're not trying to do everything in one plugin. We're also not trying to do a lot with all the plugins, right? Really, when we're mixing in the box, we try to mimic what we can do with analog in terms of flavor enhancement, but also, doing things like making sure the vocal is balanced, right? So it's not just kind of pumping out there, right? And so what I've learned over time is really to have each different tool do something specific, okay? And this applies to compression as well. So as you can see right here, this is the first compressor that I have on my vocal chain. And these are the settings that I'm using, okay? Now I'm using this TubeTech CL1B in particular because I really like what happens when you use the attack on fast, okay? That's really the beginning of the secret right here, okay? What I like to do is I keep that threshold on 0, I gain stage into it, and then I start compressing, okay? And I'm gonna set that release based on how fast the song is. If I feel that maybe the compressor is sucking a little bit, then I'm just gonna kind of lessen that release. If I go too fast in the release, we really start to get a distortion kind of artifact. It doesn't sound so good, especially with the plugin, okay? But the secret here is to have some sort of really nice smooth compressor, okay? The reason I'm not using a LA2A because I really want that kind of cut throat sound of the TubeTech when you use a fast attack, okay? So definitely demo this plugin, try it out. I'm just going to disable this just so you can hear the difference. I'm also going to disable the other plugin we're using just so you can hear how we still have the overall vibe of the mix, but we really lose that kind of consistency and that sense of kind of aggression, that punch that we want in our rap vocals. Rockstar shit, ripped jeans, Gucci bandana like 17, all black whip, pull up on the scene, my money green like green beans. All we talk is fashion. So you can hear we have really nice transients, and that's from our EQ. We're doing a nice job, but we don't have that energy, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna go to somewhere where the drums are kicking and just pay attention, right? The codeine, yeah, I like a star, yeah, she know she cook it clean. That boy ran up, but that AR got. Right, there's just something that's not as entertaining as once we apply our compression, okay? The codeine, yeah, I like a star, yeah, she know she cook it clean. That boy ran up, but that AR got a beam. Get how you feel. I just bought a pint, then I cracked the syrup. Right, you can really hear it on that last line right there. I just bought a pint, and it's just like it sounds duck, but in a nice way, okay? So what you want to do is you want to try these settings out, okay? Definitely get the TubeTech. This is a staple in the industry, okay? And then what I do is I start to EQ then, obviously, right? We got a little bit of console EQ, a little bit of notch filtering going, and then we add that second compressor, okay? And this is where, again, we get that additional punch, okay? Now, I've got a real 1176, love using it. And these are the settings that I just absolutely love. If I'm using this as a secondary compressor, think of it this way, right? If I'm mixing a session analog, I'm going to be doing a little bit of stuff pre-analog gear, just to get the sound that I want shaped in a nice way. But once I hit analog, I want that analog gear to do a certain thing, and in this case it's really to add that sense of kind of flavor and upfront punch, right? And I like to use the attack on 3, release on 5. We call this the Pepsi time setting, okay? You know, there was a kind of Pepsi campaign that happened many years ago, but these are the settings, right? You have 30 input. Again, you're gonna adjust this, especially if you're using like a wave or something. They all have different input stages, so just find what works for you based on how much compression you're getting, and then just make sure you match your output in a way that sounds good. But you know, once we add that compressor,
the codeine, yeah, like a star, yes, you know she cook it clean. That boy ran up, but that AR got a beam.
Right, we just get that kind of almost LA2A compression going, right? We don't want to cut it too hard. We don't want that distortion. We want that smoothness. That's where that kind of round transient sound gives us that sense of like, you know, in the speakers, right?
The codeine, yeah, like a star, yes, you know she cook it clean. That boy ran up.
Right, it almost sounds like there's less transients without the compressor, right? And that's because we're using subtle attack, subtle release, right? And we just do that. This is a more of an aggressive release, I won't lie, because 7 is the fastest release. It's a bit of an aggressive release, but it just gives us that sense of like knock, you know what I mean?
The codeine, yeah, like a star, yes, you know she cook it clean. That boy ran up, but that AR got a beam.
Right, and there you go. That's the trick that we utilize. Stacking compressors, but utilizing certain types of compressors, right? The IK Multimedia is a nice 1176. I use it once in a while. And then the bonus that I wanted to show you is just to make sure that you are also treating that vocal bus, okay? Now again, some of you have seen this trick before. These are the settings I like to use on my vocal bus. Fast attack, in the middle release, and then a 2-to-1 ratio, okay? And then this is just gonna glue all of the vocals together and just make sure nothing is ever popping out, okay?
The codeine, yeah, like a star, yes, you know she cook it clean. That boy ran up, but that AR got a beam. Get how you feel.
Right, all of these things are just adding up and adding that kind of life back into our vocal, especially in the digital realm. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. This is from our Destroy Lonely preset pack, If Looks Could Kill edition, and sounds really good. You can check it out in the description. You know what I mean? This is the last video we're going to be doing with this particular setup. I've got a bunch of upgraded gear that we're going to be using, so you know I'm going to start the studio breakdown process. So this is the last video that we'll have with this style. Got a lot of cool stuff coming for 2024. You know what I mean? Shout out to everyone for liking and subscribing, you know, and I'll check you out in the next one. Have a good one. Peace out.